I can't believe that I'm doing a recap of the books that I read in November. Where has the year gone to? Hi, my name is Florence and I'm a Black woman living in Germany who loves reading books. These are the books that I read in November. I love talking about books. You can listen to my podcast where I talk more about books with my friend Lily. And you can also follow us on TikTok and on Instagram where I do like short form content about books. So let's just start. The first book that I read is The Fisherman by Chigozie Obioma. And Chigozie Obioma is a Nigerian author, an amazing author. This is his first book that I'm reading. Actually, this is the screenplay to the book. I didn't know that there was a screenplay, but when I ordered the book, I bought it online at a second-hand shop, and this is what came. So the book follows the story of 4 brothers in Nigeria. And they are born to a family where the dad is working, the mom sells things at the market, I believe, and something happens to these boys. One day they're walking and they run into a madman. And this madman, he's known to speak like something like prophecies over people. He just sees you and he speaks something over your life. And sometimes these things come to life. And he speaks something onto the lives of the 4 boys, something scary, something that rips them apart. Because they believe that this prophecy is going to happen. So we follow the story of these boys as they try to lead their life, hopefully not heading into the direction that the prophecy said, but a lot happens. It is an amazing book. I enjoyed his writing. I enjoyed the plot. I enjoyed the characters. It was told from the POV of one of the boys. He was called Benjamin, I believe. So he talks about each one of his family members. I loved it. I really, really enjoyed it. It's heartbreaking, but it is so well written. 100% would recommend. The Fisherman by Chigozie Obioma. The next book that I read, which I was thoroughly disappointed in, is called The Single Girl's To-Do List by Lindsay Kelk. I am bringing back this to the library. Thank God I did not buy it. I was looking for something fun, light, after reading so many heavy books. So I thought this looks fun, and it states here on the cover that it's Sunday Times top 10 bestseller. This is so boring. It is the story about a young woman, what was her name again? Rachel Summers. And when the story starts, she's just broken up. Her boyfriend, partner, because they've been living together for some time, they've even bought a house, has broken up with her. So she suddenly finds herself single. And how she lives through life is she likes writing lists about things that she's going to do, like to-do lists. So she decides to write a to-do list with the help of her 2 friends, a single girl's to-do list, things she wants to achieve when she's single. And now we follow her as she tries to achieve these goals or to tick off these things on her list. I really tried. I read it to the end. I gave it my best, but it was so boring. I don't know. So shallow. It didn't excite me. There was some romance. Nothing. It sparked nothing. There was no sparks. And the funny thing is, after it's done, she's put in like 8 chapters of the next book. No, ma'am, not me. I am not reading the next book. So this, I would never recommend this. The next book, which is one of my favorite memoirs of the year, a total 5-star read, is Educated by Tara Westover. I have done a deep dive into this book in I think 2 videos before this, so I will link it in the description box so you can like watch the deep dive. But it's basically the story, a memoir. So it's the life of Tara Westover. She was born and raised up in rural Idaho to a Mormon family who were like part of a sect. So their parents were stricter than normal. And she just talks about her life there, a life of struggling, a life of trying to find her voice, a life of living under the tyranny of her father. We see patriarchy. We see education being something that helps her escape. We see her life outside when she escapes the life that she's born in, when she goes to school and goes to college and experiences what else is out there. The loss of contact between her and her family. I absolutely love this book. And it reminded me a lot of How to Say Babylon by Safia Sinclair. And this book I would highly recommend. The next book that also I loved is The Nightingale by Christine Hanna. This book, I was reading it with a friend, buddy read, but when I started, I could not put it down. It follows the story of two sisters, Viviane and Isabelle, around 1940s in Paris, in France, just before I think the Second World War breaks out and Germany invades France. We see a story about love and surrender and resistance and protection and bravery in two different ways, because the sisters are they have two different personalities, but the way they gave themselves up, they were of service to their nation, they were of service to their community, they were of service to their families. An amazing book, which just shows the bravery that comes out in even the worst conditions, the worst life conditions. And I really, it's reading a book about war when at the moment there are just so many wars going on in this world. It was a heavy read, but it was also so well written that I wanted to devour it. I devoured it day and night. She's an amazing author. The story is amazing, sad, heart-shattering, but definitely amazing. The next book that I read is from Müller de MIGRANTIN by Evelyn Waithira Müller. Wie Deutschland und ich uns aneinander gewohnt haben. This is by a Kenyan author who is based in Germany. She's a psychologist, and she talks about her life in Germany, how she moved here, when she moved here, the experiences she's had, the things she has learned to live with in her chosen country. Germany is her chosen country. The differences and just adjusting to life here, the racism, the crossing of boundaries, the learning of boundaries, the relearning of boundaries, motherhood when it comes to raising children as a diasporian, here in Germany, career, and just life in general as a Black woman living in Germany. I really loved the book, and I will be interviewing her for my podcast, so keep your ear and your eyes open for a podcast episode, hopefully by towards the end of December. I enjoyed this book. I really did. And last but not least, the book that a book that I read or listened to on Audible is CURVY Girl Summer by, what's her name? Debbie Ellen? Danielle Allen, and I listened to it as an audiobook. An amazing listen. It's a story about a young woman who is almost turning 30. She has dealt with grief at the loss of her sister, and she decides to throw herself into dating. She feels like she wants to turn 30 with a partner. So we follow her on her dating quests, of dating. As a curvy, dark-skinned Black woman, she faces a lot of fat shaming, fat phobia, both from her family members and also online from people that she meets on dating sites. And it's a mess out there. It's a pond, a dirty pond, as she describes, but she does find her Prince Charming, just not where she was looking for him. An amazing read, spicy scenes, chef's kiss, well done. I enjoyed the banter. I enjoyed her friendships. I enjoyed the confidence that she had. She had a good head on her shoulders. She had a good career. She had a plan. She was just looking for love, and she found it. A wholesome read. Highly recommend. Yeah, so those are the books that I read in November. I'd love to hear which books that you read in November. November was, I think we were doing non-fiction November. So I believe I read and completed two non-fiction books. There were some that I started on but I haven't finished. But November was a great reading month. Please share with me if you've read any of these books or if you'd love to pick them up. Which books did you read in November? Which books are you hoping to read in December? And just, comment and like and subscribe to the channel if you want to see such videos or more. I also do like videos where I talk about trending topics. It's something that I'm very interested in, and especially when it comes to topics about women and patriarchy. That's something that I feel drawn to. So check out the other videos on my channel, and don't forget to follow me on TikTok and Instagram, and also listen to my podcast online with my friend, sometimes alone, sometimes with my friend, or sometimes we do author interviews. So listen in if you can. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good one. Bye.